And we're live.
We are?
Yes, we are. Yeah, stream title is updated. Very nice, very nice. So, yeah, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Distant Worlds 3 podcast. We are here tonight with the topic of the ECM. With us is, yeah, I'm gonna go with 21 because pronouncing French is a bit difficult. Say hello really quick and introduce yourself.
Good evening, good evening. Yes, thank you for inviting me. Yes, Commander 21, or David, or Vantian, or whichever you prefer. I answer to most things, including or you.
Or you?
Or you!
Yes.
Oh, you.
Yeah, exactly that one,
okay.
yes.
All right.
I
and,
answer to most things. Anyway, lovely to be here.
Yeah, and doing the video side of things is Commander Akorlai.
Yeah, hi.
Also, hey. And with me backing up also are Zoria, Commander Benrick, and DJ Creep.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome back, everybody.
I answered
and
it.
welcome to those who haven't been here for a long time.
Yes.
Where did you drag me in the galaxy, by the way? I mean, I got kidnapped by a passing ship, and you've dragged me somewhere, so...
So yeah, tonight's topic is the ECM, and since you're the person behind it, you can also start explaining by what is the ECM?
Oh, the person behind it, that's quite grand. I'm the noisy person who gets to talk about it, but ECM, the Elite Community Meet. The first question before I go into it, has anybody here actually been to an ECM before?
No.
Me.
Right, okay. So ECM, the Elite Community Meet, originally started, I mean, crikey, when Elite started, when it was back in sort of alpha beta days, with a couple of mates together in a pub. Who enjoyed flying spaceships, and back when anacondas were doing dances over each other during the alpha beta stage, and we had a lot of orange sidewinders, and the bubble was really small, and a few mates got together in a pub for a bit of a elite related social after the Kickstarter backer side of things, and then that sort of went from there into a few more mates, and then the very first one I went to was 11, 12 years ago, up in Glasgow, actually, hosted by Commander Psycho Cow. I don't know whether you guys have heard of or know Commander Psycho Cow, but he hosted one up at the Redhurst in Glasgow, where we had a decent crowd. We had about 60 to 80 people there, and we all got together, opened the bar, and stayed in the hotel, and we had a room, and we did all sorts of things during the day: board games, card games, retro, elite, a bit of VR, and had a good laugh. And it sort of evolved from that into what it is now. Commander Psycho Cow and Moof were the original sort of driving, organising team behind it, and I went to join in for my sins. For the last 27 years, I've been running events all over the world, really big ones, 25,000 people and more, 250,000 people kind of size events. And so I got roped into lending a hand. Back in the day, this was when we had Ed Lewis, if you remember Ed Lewis, as community manager, and Zach Antonacci. And we got to know the team from Frontier really well. And we went from there, and we went to Manchester. We've done down in Reading, all over the time. And then we went to COVID times. We went to what we call a VECM, a virtual ECM. But we'd all done things like the LaveCon event and Fantasticon, and we went to Frontier's own event, and we thought, well, yeah, we love the panels and we love the talks and we love the content, but what we love the most is getting together with other commanders. A bit of PWP, player with player. And so with the ECM event, we decided to craft something slightly different to the other events. It's run by the community for each other. We ditch all of the program-based stuff, all the talks on the stage originally, and we decided that what we would do is we would hire a venue, a decent-sized space, and we would invite the community to bring themselves and stuff along to do, and turn it into a day of just sort of joy of playing games, the community getting together. Yes, Elite is the reason why we were there in the first place, but it's not all about Elite. And we distilled it down to this. And after the first couple, we'd run in the new format, the proper sort of the full event format. People said, when's the next one? Can we do one in spring, summer, autumn, winter, next week? And evolve from there. So it's a non-commercial event. We put it on as a community for each other. We don't have stalls, we don't have stands, there's nobody selling anything. It's all about what you can bring with you to have a great time. So we as organizers, everybody pays, everybody chucks in the tin, everybody who turns up chucks in the tin, and you join in. It's an event about taking part, it's an event about joining in, being part of the community. And somehow magically at the end of last year, £5,200 ended up in the charity tin for Special Effect and Hearing Dogs UK. And so every single year we use it as an excuse to raise money for charity. But there's something, I don't know, it feels a little bit wrong about I've just had the most enormous fun with all of my friends and given to charity at the same time. It's not entirely altruistic. I got involved and money goes to the charity tin. I mean, Special Effect is a charity I've been an ambassador now for 14 years. It means quite a lot to me personally, with family circumstances and disability in the family, and personal connections. And yeah, I mean, that's the history of it. It's just evolved for 14 years into something that 190 commanders get together once a year and have an absolute riot.
If anyone doesn't know, what is Special Effects like? I heard you mention sort of disabilities and whatnot, but what are they about exactly?
Well, so Special Effect it's called the Gamers Charity. Special Effect and Dr. Mick, who's the founder of Special Effect, founded the charity to enable, I say kids, but it's kids and adults as well, people with physical disabilities to be able to join in and take part in gaming particularly, but to be able to use computers on a level playing field. So it's a charity that's all about bringing sort of joy and fun and inclusion to people via computers and computer games. So if you have restricted motor, then you can't necessarily use a HOTAS. So how can you use a computer? Well, you could use your eye gaze, you could use specialist controllers. They've been working very closely with Xbox and on their Xbox adaptive kit as well. And it's all about, how do you want to play a game? Can we enable you to play a game? Because once you're online playing a game with other people, nobody cares how you're flying your spaceship. You could be using a special controller under your backside where you wiggle left and wiggle right, turn left and right, or foot pedals or elbows or your voice or your eyes. Nobody cares, but the important thing is you're joining in as part of a community. And in terms of mental health and well-being, instead of sitting and watching your brother, your sister, your dad, your mum play games, and you're just sort of absorbing it from the sideline, you actually get to play. And the right to play is enshrined in various international laws and charters. The charters on the rights of the child enshrine the right of the child to play. And what Special Effect do through technology is allow people with physical disabilities to play, particularly on computer games. And it's such a liberating thing to be able to play computer games. You're on a headset. Nobody cares how you're joining in. You're there. You're part of it. And so the charity is there to enable particularly play, but actually it's evolved beyond that to actually use computers for other things as well, with the eye control and all sorts. But the fundamental thing behind the origination of it was to enable people with physical disability to play on a level playing field with everybody else, be part of the game as opposed to watch it. So that's Special Effect.
That's fantastic.
And it's been my absolute privilege for the last 14 years to be an ambassador for them. I was over there about 4 weeks ago. They were awarded a BAFTA a couple of years ago in the Computer Games BAFTA Awards. And Dr. Mick got up and accepted a BAFTA on behalf of the charity, and actually got a couple of weeks ago down the office and hugged the BAFTA as well. So I was basking.
Is that like the accessibility category, the sort of making games accessible to people?
The special award, the annual special award, which they give to all sorts of people. So it was just for services to gaming.
Right, nice.
It wasn't a disabilities award. It was that year's special award, which is given to somebody who's gone above and beyond. So it's not a contribution to gaming and games. And it is absolute recognition of the entire team there. Obviously, Dr. Mick heads it up as the founder of the charity, but the entire team there, Baz and Ali and everybody, are just legends. You go to the offices and they have a back room where the occupational therapists work, and there are youngsters there who've never played a computer game, and the team there with the tech team as well have rigged them up a way to play, and all you hear is giggling from the back room. And I challenge anybody not to have a dry eye, when you see and hear these kids playing the games for the first time, Minecraft using your eyes, or you want to play FIFA, you can play FIFA. They'll set you up with whatever you want, and as your physical conditions evolve, as you age, they will come and they will adjust it as well. So there's no charge on the individual for the service, so everything we raise goes to enable gaming for other people.
And that is an absolutely noble cause.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look this up and shoot some money over at you guys.
Specialeffect.org.uk. Go and watch the videos in there, and I swear I challenge any of you to watch one of the videos and stay unemotional throughout them, because the joy and the laughter. So many charities are about health or research, or this charity is about joy. And it's about bringing quality of life and joy, not just to children. I mean, there are adults with spinal injuries as well. It was originally focused particularly on the younger audience, but actually it's anybody with the most difficulties that come with, if it's injury or health. So how can we help you? How can we make you play? And it is an absolute joy to be part of it. You can tell from my voice. I'm a firm believer in it. The ability to play is so good for your mental health.
Agreed. And honestly, how can you not back something that you don't believe in? Let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, it's as a youngster, I grew up in my household. My uncle was quite heavily physically disabled, and I remember as a young man, my grandpa used to adjusted one of the Atari controllers on the old school Ataris with a big wooden handle, so my uncle could grab it, and he used to strap it with a couple of leather straps to his leg, and a big red button he could mash with his other hand. And my uncle and I would spend hours when I was really young playing Atari together. So finding out as an adult that there's a charity that enables this for other people, I couldn't not,
Yeah.
So that's one of the two charities we support. And the other one is Hearing Dogs UK, which Mike Snoswell, Commander Snoz, once again, a major part of our community since the Alpha Backer days, was paired up with Alvin, who's his hearing dog, back many, many years ago. And before he was paired with Alvin, he'd turn up at one of these events, and the anxiety would get him, and his deafness would be a problem for him, and he would, you know what I mean? He wouldn't fully engage. And since he's been paired with Alvin, the change in his life has been phenomenal as well. So the second charity we raise for is Hearing Dogs UK, who provide, assistance dogs for people hard of hearing and who are deaf. And Alvin is a legend. In game, if you heard the Hutton Orbital Truckers, yes?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes,
for the month. It turns up, yeah. So when we were asked to make a faction, we were asked to nominate a leader. And if you look up, actually in game, you go to Alpha Centauri and you look up Hutton Orbital, the faction leader is a gentleman by the name of Alvin Deefer. And Alvin Deefer, that's Deefer Dog. And
Deefer Dog
is actually a dog.
I knew I was going.
He is a hearing dog. He is actually a spaniel. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
So those are the two.
How does it work? Like, how does a hearing dog
I was going to ask. Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I'll give you an example. When we go to ECM, because I've got to keep it vaguely relevant to ECM. Mike, share a hotel room. Actually at the event, and when Mike's alarm goes off in the morning, because Mike's taken his ears out, he has got hearing aids, so when he takes his ears out, he doesn't hear his alarm. And Alvin, his job when the alarm goes off is to jump on Mike's head and say, "Dude, your alarm's going off."
Well, he could have just got a cat for free.
Oh, he could have got something that electrocuted him and made him, shocked him away. But then what happens is, if Mike doesn't respond, the dog then panics and comes and jumps on my head on the twin bed on the other side. And says, "Dude, Mike's not waking up." And so the dog goes into panic mode. It's alarms, it's sounds that he's not aware of. But there's also an awareness thing in
We've got like traffic, traffic lights and all that kind of stuff as well. Like the whole
trained to recognize noises and alert Mike to noises, but also in a social situation, if somebody's talking, the dog knows where is the sound coming from, and will boop him with his nose. So if somebody
That's
says, "My
adorable.
listening," the dog will boop him with his nose, and he goes, "What?" And the dog's like, "Hey, the dude over there is talking to you," you know. But also he acts as like a signpost for Mike. So because he's wearing his jacket and it says he's an assistance dog, and here, you know what I mean, hearing assistance, people know, they get the gig now. You know what I mean? They understand. So in terms of social situations as well and inclusion, it's been awesome. So yeah, those are the two charities we raised for at ECM.
Oh,
I could
fantastic.
see it definitely taking the pressure off of him to have to explain the situation to everyone, that he comes into contact with. It also just allows, everyone to read the situation themselves, and he doesn't have to worry about, let me explain to you as well, why I'm not responding or didn't, turn when you said something. So yeah, that's great. I
Yeah,
love
because
that.
it must get really old, right? Repeatedly explaining
yeah,
your
absolutely.
scenario to people, like it must just get so exhausting. Like, so that's
Yes,
good
explaining the
stuff.
same thing over and over again to people. I have a particular understanding of how frustrating that
It's
is.
like
And
apologizing,
so, yeah.
apologizing to yourself, isn't it? It's like it's fucking.
Oh,
Alvin, actually, at ECM this year will be Alvin's final outing as a hearing dog, because he's actually reached an age where he has to retire. So ECM this year will actually be Alvin's. He's been with Mike long enough now. It'll be Alvin's retirement party, which will be sort of happy, sort of sad as well. So it will be Alvin's outing officially. I mean, he will still be with Mike, but it will be his official outing as a working hearing dog, his last one as well.
Well, it's glad that he's going out on a high note. By the way, for the meme, I have to do this. Or you! How's Cecil doing from the audience?
I say. Yes. Cecil?
Yeah.
No, Cecil's doing very well. He's a little bit drunk at the moment. He may have had a couple of glasses of gin before the radio show. But yes. Cecil does come and visit occasionally. Anyway, so that's. I know I'm doing a lot of talking here, guys, and I know, you know what I mean. There's a lot of noise of me coming out at the moment.
No, not at all. Actually, I've got a kind of curious questions regarding the ECM. I figure it's going to be UK based, right?
Well, you say that.
Yeah, I say that. Let me rephrase that. Europe based. Have there ever been any plans for like a US ECM as far as
we have hosted? We cross over a little bit because obviously a part of what I do is with the Hutton Orbital Truckers as well. So we do have a bit of a crossover. We have hosted in Kansas City. We've hosted on the west coast of the US. We have hosted down in Texas. We've hosted in Australia. We've hosted in Europe. These are little mini ones. But the main big one is in the UK. All it requires is a bunch of commanders in the same location to get together with friends, find a space where you can get together. It could be a back room in a bar somewhere, and have a drink, have a bite to eat, and talk about elite things. And if it grows, then you bring a few computers along next time.
There you go.
And then you will, yeah. And that's it. I mean, all it needs is somebody with the wherewithal to say, hey, look, there's 5 guys locally. You put it up on the forums, you put it out on the socials, and just say, look, does anybody want to come and have a beer next weekend? Or whenever it is during ECM. So we have also co-hosted. So when we've done the UK ECM, we've actually had one going in the US at the same time, and they actually, via the magic of the internet, came and joined us on the screen. So we could actually see their event on the screen. And there were 7 or 8 guys in a barbecue bar in the US.
Say
at the same time.
Ben, you could probably find us a place out here on the West Coast. I'm sure.
We need more guys, but I'm down.
Yeah, that's true. We do need more guys.
This is where you introduce me saying, "Oh, you're the guy that runs it." When I'm the noisy guy that happens to be able to get people together by being enthusiastic a lot.
Yeah, that's Ben's position. He's the enthusiastic one of the bunch.
I was about to say, yeah, I think I could do that.
Yeah,
I'll manage maybe.
You'll have
you do
to sign me in
Wayne's World thing. You put it on and they will come. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, true.
I'm not saying these the tickets for ECM are, is it 60 quid?
Nope, absolutely not. What? You completely got that bit wrong. Anyway, no, sorry, I don't mean to be mean. We've deliberately pitched it that everybody chips in the tin. So if you want to come down to ECM in the UK, I suppose I ought to give the details about when it is at some point, and then we'll do the what it is and what we're up to. So it's on the 5th of September over in Coventry in the UK, in the Midlands. We're hosting it at the Village Hotel, who were wonderful for us last year. They give us a fantastic amount of space and a lot of support. It's £12.50.
That's
Well, 50.
wildly
That's not
inexpensive.
what I heard.
This is
Michael,
food.
Now, I say it's £12.50. We deliberately do this. Everybody chucks in the tin. It's a self-funding event because it's non-commercial. We've wrangled a
50
really
upwards, basically.
venue, and the idea is that not everybody is made of loads and loads of money, and we've deliberately pitched it. So if you just want to turn up for the day, you just basically contribute to the cost for the day, and any excess goes to the charities. So if you want to bring a packed lunch and you know what I mean, some sandwiches in a box, and you
Perfect
want to
job.
join in, we have deliberately made it inclusive in that, not everybody has tons of money these days, especially with the world the way it is. So we've pitched it such that £12.50, that means we're not out of pocket, the venue's paid for, and you can bring your own lunch. If you want lunch as well, you just pay a little bit extra and we put on some lunch. And if you want to join us for the dinner in the evening, then you put a bit more in as well. So you can spend as much or as little as you like on turning up and joining in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And the hotel is around about, what, 90 quid-ish for the night in the hotel?
The hotel's getting quite full. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of us come on the Friday. We stay on the hotel on the Friday night. It's about 90 quid a night, but we've exhausted our supply of rooms. So we're now into there. We've got family rooms left and some of the sort of premium plus rooms. So that it's about 100 quid at the hotel now. We had, it basically sold out in about 7 days flat. We do have space still. But in terms of the hotel, the hotel had a shock and we filled them right up. But they've got double rooms, twin rooms, superior double rooms, twin rooms, and family rooms left. A handful. It's about 100 quid a night, or 120 if there's two of you sharing, including breakfast. A lot of us come on the Friday. What we do on the Friday is, the poor barmaid got a shock last year because of the 180 people who were coming on the Saturday, about 120 came on the Friday night and invaded the bar and the restaurant, and they had two barmaids on, and the kitchen got a bit of a shock. So we have a Friday night shenanigans, which is when the crew are all setting up the room. There's an awful lot going on in the room. And then everybody else goes and has a big party on the Friday night, and they all rock in on the Saturday morning about 10 o'clock when we open, and then enjoy the day. And then we actually rocked on through till about 2:30 in the morning on Sunday morning.
So the hotel bar stayed open for a few extra hours, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the official event ended at 11 o'clock at the end of Dockers. And after that, we then took Cards Against Humanity down to the bar, and One Night Ultimate Werewolf, and Pop-Up Pirate, and whatever. And then the carnage of the glasses left lining the bar. But the barman stayed until late o'clock. Security obviously stopped all the locals from the hotel coming down to the corridor where we are. So we do have a private bar that's just ours. And yeah, there is an after hours party that goes on as well. It also happens to be my 50th birthday party while we're there this year. So, yeah, there will be maybe some minor drinking going on. But yeah, it's a massive social, but there's a lot to do at the event.
Yeah.
So what's
perfectly brings us to the next point, I guess.
Sorry, pardon?
What? Yeah.
I was just about to ask what I think you were about to tell us, so carry on.
Yeah.
So what we do is we open it and we line the room with things to do, and we worked on a sort of a model where at any point in time 50% of the audience can be sat down doing or playing something directly on a computer or a board game or whatever. So we have a 5-player racing rig on with steering wheels doing some motor racing. So it's a full set of racing rigs. So there's PvP racing. We've got a whole stack of computers doing elite things. People who bring their own homebrew controllers, touch screens, all sorts of stuff. Their own home rigs with a HOTAS, and we've then got. Moving around from there, a bunch of guys who bring Steam Decks as well, and we had 5 people in CQC fighting each other on Steam Decks on a table, which was quite good fun.
Moving around the room. That seems disgusting from a control standpoint.
No, it's good fun.
Controller layout. It's nice.
Yeah, including we've then got the creative corner where we've got people like Beetlejude who does all the Elite related artwork on YouTube. So Commander Beetlejude, and she had some paintings last time. I think this year she's not doing the painting; she's coming just to join in, and various crafts and bits. We've got a couple of 3D printers going in there with making Elite models. We've got a laser etching thing. There's a chap by the name of Russ Pitcher, who's also a special effect ambassador, who makes custom Elite dog tags on his special equipment over in the corner. Then moving around the room, we've had Elite miniatures. We won't be having Elite miniatures this year because Colin Ford from Commander Phoenix to Fire from Lave Radio is not able to make it this year, but we're substituting another game in. We've got Spider-Man games and battle cards. We've then got retro. Oh my goodness. So we run one of everything that's ever run Elite in a line. So Electron, BBC Micro, C64, Spectrum,
the Micro, yeah.
you know,
Put it on.
Amiga, Atari, you know what I mean? Right through to including Archimedes, the BBC Master Edition. We've then got Spectrum Next as well, so some of the modern evolutions of them. We've got the NES version, the Nintendo version of Elite running on a piece of kit.
It was a Nintendo version? Yeah.
They chorused?
David rates it his favourite version of Elite.
Hang on.
What the fuck?
I think I have to check for my emulation folder and check if there's.
How the hell do you play Elite on a NES?
I mean,
It's a 4-button
It works.
controller, right?
You go to the menu, you've got a button for the menus, and you go along the icons for sort of launch and data on system and whatever. We have an arcade that I built the arcade machine during lockdown because I was bored with my son. So we have an arcade playing Centipede and whatever. Then we've got an entire section dedicated to stand-up multiplayer games. So we've got PS1, PS2, Xbox. We've got Nintendo Switch. We've got, you know what I mean, all the versions of Nintendo going on big TV screens with multi-taps on them. So 4-player. We have a light gun arcade courtesy of Commander Valkyrius, where you get to play Virtua Cop. If you remember that from the arcade.
Yeah.
I remember it.
Speaking of stand-up and arcade games, we actually had a question come in from the audience. Was will there be Beat Saber this year?
Yes, we will have Beat Saber again this year. We do have some custom maps, including the Hutton Orbital theme tune for the Mug theme tune. Beat Saber. And anybody who beats Flossie wins an award. And by the way, you're not going to beat Flossie, because she's queen of the community goals, a legend on Distant Worlds, a Hutton trucker, and she's better at Beat Saber than all of you.
There you go, Alec. You've got your challenge. Go and
she used to have us
prove
past
yourself.
retirement.
Also in the audience.
Yeah.
So say hello to her.
We have Beat Saber, yes, and then we have 2 full Starship Bridges.
So you're
Two for what, sorry?
Starship Bridges.
As in Artemis Starship Bridges?
Oh, no, even better than Artemis. We're actually using the same system this year as they use on the Starship Bridge experience in London. So we've upgraded to a system called MT Epsilon. But yeah, it's like Artemis. You have 6 of you in a room. You have a captain, an engineer, a scientist, weapons, helm, etc. And you go into them. We've got a full lighting rig sponsored by RSW Sound. So we've got a full pro lighting rig in the room. A huge screen out, when the shields go up, everything changes color. When you get hit, explosions happen. So there is a full lighting rig and 2 Starship Bridges. And yeah, as a team of 6, you have to survive the scenario. And you get, but we got 2 of those going. We also have a VR escape room, a 6-person VR escape room.
How much does this stuff cost?
I need to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Are there
Okay.
tickets left? Weren't they almost sold out like after 2 weeks?
More importantly, will there be chess?
There is chess. King Hanky does run a chess tournament in the bar area. King Hanky is actually a chess coach. Okay, this is King Hanky of Colonia, who has about 15 different commanders, all of which are triple elite, and total legend. But he is actually a chess coach, and he is playing chess in the bar. We've got Pirate, we've got Buckaroo, we've got Dominoes, we've got old Shove Halfpenny with original, British halfpennies.
We got people.
You name it.
How big is this place? How are you fitting all this stuff in?
Yeah. That
A shoehorn and screws.
how the hell can people afford this stuff too? Is another thing that just drives
Good
me up. a
lord.
wall.
Question.
This is a gaming community who bring the things that give them joy and share them with their friends.
I know. It just makes me wonder how they afforded them to begin with. Listen, I am an American struggling in this godforsaken economy. I can barely pay for my PC, much less a 6-man rig for with lights and sounds, no less, for a Starship Simulator.
We've got some genuine, generous sponsors as well.
Yeah, no kidding.
While we're not commercial, there are some companies that buy into the idea of this. They do it out of the goodness of their hearts. I mean, they don't get much out of it themselves, but they chuck in, they believe in the idea, and they chuck in and join in. And we've got some incredibly generous sponsors. I mean, Verity IT, RSW Sound, a number of companies, and they really generously just lend us the stuff. And join in.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Because
so what's
I-
going? Please go on.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, and you've got £12.50 and you can get to Coventry. Come join in, you know?
Well, if
So-
ever
so
if
there's
ever
no
I get a
actual number to
passport,
independent.
Well,
How
either
much
that,
is
we
getting a
also,
passport
we also
in the
stream
US?
it live and you can join in remotely. Now, here's the best bit. You can join in remotely as well.
yeah. It's just not
So,
the same
um,
though, unless you're there with your friends, isn't it?
Well, you say that. So a Paige from Special Effect, who's the part of their sort of social media and streaming team, has not been able to physically attend for personal reasons. So we actually, a bit like, have you ever watched A Big Bang Theory?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
But so Sheldon in one of them decides he's going to remote into the lab with a screen, a little robot.
Yeah.
And so what we've been doing for a lot of people is we actually had a computer in the bar the last couple of years, and Paige was on the computer in the bar and running a game called Gang Beasts. And she basically, anybody walked past the bar,
it's hilarious.
she screamed, "Fight me." Actually, she screamed, "Fight me, bitch," quite a lot. And then people would literally put the headset on, pick up the controller, and have a fight with Paige while they were waiting for their beer to be served, and talk to her about all things special effect as well. But then when it came to the group photograph, what we did was we swiped her to a tablet computer, took her outside. So when we were in the Reading one, and so she was in the photograph on the tablet and part of the crowd.
Going full like Iron Mouse
Was
at this
it-
rate, like
was it-
Jesus.
Was it The Good Wife where you would get people when you had people who were too unwell to come into work, so what they did was they mounted an iPad on one of those
Exactly
what's
like that.
what's the 2-wheeler thing, the Segway.
Yeah, the
So they
Segway,
mounted an iPad on a Segway and they'd be like wheeling around the office and bumping into doors and that.
Yeah, we had Commander Lithobreaker was actually our Segway, so we mounted her on Commander Lithobreaker, who took her outside of the tablet. But yeah, very much like that. There was a drone taking aerial pictures. There was, I mean. But what it boils down, I mean, Zach Antonacci, Ed Lewis, a lot of the community managers, Arthur Tolmie, who's obviously left Frontier now, all of them have publicly said it is the most fun they've had at a gaming event. And I'm not misquoting them on this. All of them have said. And
you're not
Frontier
lying.
do turn up. So Frontier turn up, but we don't let them do a panel. And so there's, what do you want us to do? I said, well, come join in. And you find them playing Zombicide on a table somewhere, or playing Cards Against Humanity with the community. So we regularly get some of the dev team as well, and they come on their own bat. This is not on the company ticket. They actually come on their own. So we've had Dav Stott and Dom Corner, who, the guy behind the guys behind a lot of how the BGS works. They come, but they're not there as work. They come and join in. We had Norman Lovett 2 years ago from Red Dwarf as our guest, who signed everyone. And
Yes,
then
who?
Norman Lovett from
he was
Holly from
lovely.
Red Dwarf. Yeah. And he swore at everybody and then drew on them with Sharpies and signed people.
Perfect.
And we actually managed to get him to I think Flossie gave him an autograph of her at one point. But yeah, I mean, we don't always have special guests, but he happened to be available and he came along and joined in. So, yeah, it is just the most enormous fun. And somehow at the end of it, two charities get shed loads of money and we all have a hangover.
That makes sense.
Only amateurs get hangovers.
Oh, the hangovers are special. The ECM hangovers are really special.
Ay, Dios mío.
So what do you have? Do you have anything going on in terms of like panels, chats, and whatnot? Is there anything going on like that?
Right. So, yeah, obviously we line the entire event. The biggest complaint we get is people said, I did not have time to do everything.
Of course.
Or
Yep.
half of it.
Yep.
So what we do is that the daytime is the early daytime is all set out to basically you turn up and join in. And go play games and chat to people and meet people. And then as we drift towards the evening, we start putting a bit of content on. So you got your meal times during the day, you got your lunch, you got your dinner. We have the raffle, OMG, the raffle. I understand there is a 2-meter starship turning up. One of the Imperial capital ships has been 3D printed by somebody. I understand it's 2 meters long and that's going in the raffle. Last year we had Smaug the Dragon, who took up most of your desk. He was brought along, and he was actually won by somebody. Her brother runs the Forbidden Planet comic store in Southampton, and it now has pride of place down there somewhere. There are basically people. I mean, the raffle takes up 5 tables. It takes us if we do it slowly, it'll take us about an hour and 15 minutes at high speed to get through the whole raffle. It's unbelievable. The content, what people make and bring and donate to the raffle. So we have the raffle. We have a quiz, which is hosted by Commander Valkyrius, which is an elite-related quiz, which we run every Thursday night on Hunt Orbital Radio as well, in multiple rounds. We then, in the evening, switch to a traditional sketch, which if Frontier are up for it and a community team are, and they've a bit of a change over there, so I can't promise they'll be there this year. But in previous years, the community team have turned up and they do a live stage sketch written by us, and they will literally read the words we write. We then go into Hutton Orbital Radio in the evening, which is a elite-based news show, and then we go into the Barnard Star Dockers, which are not safe for work in a big way. Written by Mr. Shouty and LCU No Fool Like One from Canon Interstellar. And it's a full cast audio drama where about 20 of us get up in front of the microphones and are handed completely blind a script which we read, and it's pure filth, basically. It's brilliant. It is childish. It's pure filth. We've had Tokuso, Tom Cook, who does a lot of music for Elite. He does the music backing for Galnet News Digest and many other things. He performs live in previous years with what we know as the Hutton Mayhem Band. So we run it as an open mic session. So we get together before the event. Anyone who can play an instrument or hold a tune, and LCU who can't, get together, and we put together Tokuso and the Hutton Mayhem Band for some music entertainment in the evening. Occasionally there are some makers who've designed like cool tech. There was a person who designed an application online and for mobiles for Elite, demonstrated it from the stage. Last year we had some lads from a university who had re-engineered the original Elite to work in VR, the original wireframe Elite to work in VR as a project, and they brought that along to show.
I heard Michael was talking about that one time, and he was head over heels in love with it. So I'd love to try that out one day.
It was a great
I
experience.
can't promise they'll be there this year, but we do something different every year. So as we get in towards the evening, we get into sort of quiz, music, live stuff as well. But it's if you like it, join in. If you don't, go play games.
Sure. Fantastic.
Can you tell my enthusiasm yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Love it.
I mean, I'm excited.
No, I'm excited. I'm just gonna have to see what the logistics are like for getting to Coventry from Newcastle are. But we have
We have a number of commanders coming from Newcastle already. And we have a lot of commanders coming from Newcastle, and car shares going on as well. A lot of people getting together and doing car shares down from various locations.
Really? From what? From
We're
Newcastle?
doing,
Car
There's
shares?
a channel on the ECM Discord server just for car shares and room shares.
Holy shit! Yeah, I'll tell you what, because if if the only rooms available are like doubles and that, I'd be happy to go halves on someone with a room like that or whatever, and I'll
Europe
chip in
is
for a petrol for a car share, like for sure.
absolutely. We have a load of people who do that, and it's a case of by hook or by crook we can get you there, if you know what I mean. I mean, Flossie comes down from the deepest, darkest end of goodness knows where up in the northwest, and manages to get there. And we've got people from Newcastle. There's one guy comes down from Aberdeen. We've got people fly in from Europe as well. We had somebody fly in from the US last year. Yeah, if you can, then great. But if you can't, join in remotely. It's streamed entirely live throughout the entire day, so everybody can join in.
I was about to say,
Speaking of which, welcome Flossie to the stage. She's
She's been here a while.
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
wanna interrupt.
Flossie's lurking. She's brought her pans in case I misbehave.
Oh yes.
In case I say bad things. Ouch. Yeah.
Something from the audience then, because I didn't see Flossie come in. It's on like Donkey Kong when it comes to Beat Saber.
Oh yeah. I mean, basically, you're not beating Flossie. Flossie is the best at this. I mean, Valkyrios thinks he is, but it's
The
actually
gauntlet has been thrown down. Pistols at dawn.
But the main thing, there are some people who turn up and expect to be entertained, and they probably will get a bit out of the day. The best way to take part in ECM is turn up and join in. Somebody says, "Oh, can I? How am I going to meet everybody?" And it's okay. So we'll go and join on the racing. I mean, the guys in the racing have been running it all day. Just run it for like an hour. Meet everybody, sit them down, and join in. And the number of people that have got the best experience by actually joining in, running something or hosting something, or you know what, you go to your loft and you find a copy of Hero Quest that you bought back when you were a youngster, and you've never played it because you didn't have enough mates to have a full game, or maybe everybody was too busy that weekend, and you bring it along and you get to play Hero Quest for the first time, or you know what I mean. So yeah, bring it along and do it. It's an event all about doing.
Yeah.
Introduce some people to some new hobbies that they may enjoy. Introduce yourself to a new hobby that you may enjoy.
It's also a lot of people saying that they're anxious about large crowds and events. It's probably the most welcoming, most inclusive, most friendly. I mean, I run events for a living. I have never come across a crowd that are this welcoming, friendly, inclusive. You know, small things. We lay out the room so that it's wheelchair accessible. One or two of the guys and girls are in wheelchairs as well. One or two of the people have social anxieties and they come and speak to us. There are quiet areas for them if they need. But the feedback we get is probably the most inclusive, friendly, welcoming environment you could possibly. Oh, it's the community. It's the elite community, and the best bit about the elite community is we are awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Can I make a last minute suggestion? Right, well, it's not last minute. It's only April, right? But I'll tell you a very short story. Like, when I moved to London, one of the jobs I got was in IT support, and I worked at a company called Publicis, and I was IT support, and I did like remote support, as in, you know, people ring the desk, you remote onto the machine and sort the shit out, have a bit of banter with them, and whatever. And for the first 6 months, I like made loads of friends there, as in like I had really great terms with everyone in the business. And then when Christmas rolled around, I had this massive Christmas party. And I was like, yeah, let's fucking go to the Christmas party and fucking I'll hang out with all the people because I know them all. Because whenever you bring up someone's profile, when you're remoting onto them, you get a picture of them, you know who they are, you know their name and all that jazz, right? Mm. And I went to this Christmas party, no one knew who the fuck I was. Like, nobody. Like, so I was walking around the Christmas party like, oh, Chantal, what are you doing? She's like, who the fuck are you?
I mean, obviously, we do the badge
or something.
We do lovely pin badges. Everybody's commander names and the real name if they prefer on them.
And the Discord names or whatever. Yeah.
And the Discord exists so that there's banter throughout the year, and there's a lot of rooms in the Discord where people get together and say, do you want to put a crew together for the Starship Bridge? And so there's a lot of stuff that happens pre-event of organizing People you've never met say, well, we're on the bridge at 11 a.m. or 12, whatever it is, and there's a lot of pre-organizing goes on. And if you don't know people there, I mean, there's one person didn't know everybody there, and he said, well, what's the best thing I can do? He said, well, come and help us on the front desk. And they got to say good morning to all 183 people in Reading as they arrived, and instantly they had 183 new friends.
Good morning. Good
Yeah.
morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get stuck in is the best way to meet people. And if anybody is sort of anxious, you can always find anyone on the team. There's a great big team behind it, so it's not just me. It's Commander Morpheus, Commander Lithobreaker. It's Flossie, Hanky with the chess. There are names you'll recognise. There are faces and voices you might recognise, but you just find one of the crew. And just say, look, is there anything I can do, or would you mind introducing me to a few people? We've got streamers there, we've got Psychit there, we've got the announcer, we've got Canon Interstellar, we've got the Fuel Rats, we've got the Hull Seals, we've got, you know what I mean? These are names you know from playing Elite. The Distant Worlds, I mean, we have our very own legend Flossie there. Yeah, and a lot of people turn up with, I mean, LCU turns up in a lab coat and is quite clearly there with it, Canon Interstellar, because he looks the part.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, so 5th of September in Coventry in the UK or on the internet, elitecommunitymeet.info is the website.
We'll go ahead.
Awesome. Just got invite.
There are links to the Discord on there, and also I don't make it too public because otherwise we get spam from people. So, but you can find us, the Discord on there. It, I would say, is an adult audience. There are one or two people who do bring their youngsters with them, but we are not choosing games that are age appropriate, and the content in the evening is absolutely not age appropriate. So it is at parents' discretion, and if your kids are a nuisance, we'll sell them on eBay and donate to charity.
As expected.
So it is very much a grown-ups audience. That doesn't mean we ban kids. It just means that it's your problem, not ours. If you do bring any youngsters, there are some people who bring their kids with them, but they understand the content.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a heck of a day out. Then lunch and dinner, there's a 30 quid. So basically, the only reason we put on lunch and dinner is to stop Chef having a meltdown in the hotel. Because if 190 people suddenly go through to the bar and order a dirty burger or pizza, Chef would just have a complete meltdown. So it's not a formal lunch thing. Lunch last year was these awesome jacket taters with all the goodies. And dinner was a bit of a barbecue style dinner. It's food as fuel though, so it's not a formal food. We put on food as fuel, and we just pass on the cost to you guys to save you having to go to the bar and stress Chef out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Is there anything set for this year in terms of food yet?
Well, lunch is going to be much the same. It's going to be food as fuel, sort of jacket taters with all the fillings and whatever else for fuel. Dinner, I've got a selection of menus, but it tends to be the barbecuey food, burgers and sausages, and you know what I mean, a salad and bready things, and you know what I mean. It's hearty. Yeah. Now, anybody who's got dietary requirements, as I do, unfortunately, these days, we do cater for that on a plate-by-plate basis. So anybody who's gluten-free or has intolerances, whatever, Chef will actually cater for them with their own plates on a personal basis. So it's not just a section on the end which looks a bit sad on the buffet. They will actually bring you out your own food. And the booking form has got a section where you can say what your intolerances are if you've got food intolerances. And Chef will actually bring you out your own dinner.
Celiac disease is a bitch, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, make sure that you mention it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a space on the form, dietary requirements. Put it in there. We will cater for it.
That is amazing. Very accommodating.
Yeah,
so if I literally want to go and buy a ticket now, kind of thing, or do you just pay on entry?
Yeah, you go to elitecommunitymeet.info, click on tickets. There are, oh crikey! I mean, we went through our. Shall I just log on and have a look at how we're doing? Because there's been a few days.
Is it community meet dot whatever
community
website?
Info. Yeah.
I can share the link if you want.
£12.50 gets you entry. £30 gets you entry plus lunch. £60 gets you entry plus lunch plus dinner. That's very
Yes.
nice.
Do not feel if you're going to eat, you have to choose our food options. If you want to go and get a dirty burger in the bar, you can do. The Village Hotel's quite a funky location. It's quite stylish in places. Their bar has got telly screens and games in the bar as well, and they do serve the usual bar menu. The pricing is set equivalent to what you would buy in the bar, so it's not like a preferential price. If you want to go and get your own food or whatever else, go do so.
No.
Same with staying at the hotel. We had a rate, we used it up. It wasn't much cheaper than you could get buying it direct. It was purely just so we had some reserved rooms so that nobody else bagged the hotel and took all the rooms away from us.
Note, the food allergy section is marked as mandatory, so you have to explicitly tell us none, just to be sure if the answer is none. Due to huge demand for rooms, the only bedrooms available now are club rooms for 1 to 2 people. For members, membership is free, though. A double-double for 1 to 4 people, or a family room for 1 to 4 people.
Yep. So room sharing encouraged at this stage. There are other local hotels if we spill over. Let me just have a look at the number of responses, viewing sheets. Where are we up to? So last year we had 183 people, and we got that by the day. We already have 190 people booked with, 4 months left to go.
Yeah. Man, you'd be $400 for me to get a flight out to London, so... And I'd still need to get a passport before then.
Just as an info, I also booked a double room, so I still got one.
Somebody go bunk with Michael.
Share.
Don't worry, he won't
Michael? Is that again, Michael?
Yeah, for those of you that are comfy room sharing, they
you
doubles to twins. If you speak to the team there, they can actually just set you up in a twin room. So a lot of room sharing goes on. People, a lot of the crowd know each other, having done this for 14 years. So yeah, there's quite a lot of the team do room shares. Stagger back to it at 2:30 in the morning.
You say you've got a spare bunk in your room, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucking right. Okay, taken.
There you go. The 2 DJs sharing a bedroom.
Bags.
Not surprised.
Bags, yeah. Yeah, well,
I have the ideal flight of flying in at 7 in the morning, and my flight back leaves at 6 in the morning next day. So I'm just gonna chill.
There you go.
Wait,
so is it? I know you're saying that
6 in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah, like it leaves at 6 or something. It's the flight Birmingham Düsseldorf.
Yep. So, given that we're in location-wise, yes, you've got Birmingham Airport literally just around the corner.
Exactly.
We've got the nearest train station is actually on one of the big train lines, Birmingham Coventry side of things. You can get there from London, you can get there from Manchester. We've picked the location, all the motorways, and there are cars coming from absolutely everywhere. And as you said, there's a lift share channel over in the Discord as well.
And which channel was? So I'm on the the ECM Discord and that. You were saying there might be car shares and whatnot going on. What's the sort of channel for
lift share, room share, LFG? Yes, under ECM.
Room share. Yeah. Lovely, thank you.
I can't remember who it is coming from Newcastle, but I know there is somebody coming from the deepest, darkest northeast. Sunny Whitley Bay, I believe.
Whitley Bay will do it. Yeah.
Yeah. They may not respond immediately, but there might be, there should be somebody there. And if it needs a push, I can always prod a tag to people in there.
Lovely job. And so I know you're saying the events are all on. Am I right in thinking from what you said, everything is going on the Saturday from a formal capacity in terms of all gaming and events and things? But people come down the Friday in terms of getting there to set up and everything. So there'll be drinks and bullshit going on the Friday night.
Well, the Friday night is almost like an event on its own. Yeah, and Saturday. There are some people who stay on Sunday as well, the international travellers. But so Sunday is hangover and pack up and load the van and chill out with mates, have breakfast. Friday night is a late night party night for those staying in the hotel. So there's a bunch of us. There's probably about 30 of us rigging the room. Volcarius and me and Morpheus and Litho and Commander Asylum, whatever else. We'll be rigging the main room. What we tend to do is kick people out there. If you're not in the room helping, then clear off. Because a lot of people come through for the social, and we actually have to chuck them out to the main hotel bar to say, look, we get it, but we're not going to get the gig done if you don't clear off. So if you're in the main room on the Friday night, then you're helping. But then we would really appreciate if anybody popped their head in occasionally and went, do you guys need some fluids? Well, we're rigging it. But everybody pays. That's me. That's the crew. There is nobody there, paid for by anybody else. You pay for yourself. So the entire crew pay for their own way as well. There is nothing commercial about this event.
Yeah. Great.
And at the moment, we with our sponsors, whatever else, it looks like in terms of our budget and charity donations, we're probably going to smash it on last year. We're going to be able to write a lovely check to both charities.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's just.
And by the way, anybody who's got old stuff they're getting rid of, tellies, games, PlayStations, whatever else, add it to the kit. If you don't want it anymore, bring it along. People have donated tellies and all sorts that they don't want anymore. If you've got stuff or you want to bring it to use it, but also, it's stuff donated by the community as well. So multi-taps of PS1s and stuff people have found lying around in their loft. A lot of people bring it along and say, look, I've got an old one of these. Would you like it?
Yeah,
We're wired up to people play it. Yeah.
I'd love to bring all my NTSCU stuff that won't work on any PAL television because fuck you, I guess.
You say that?
I don't think that's the thing anymore.
Oh,
we have NTSC stuff there. Yeah.
Oh, good. Because I've got the only. I'm not sure if you've ever seen. You've seen my pictures, 21, but I've got an entire entertainment center full of consoles. It is absolutely stocked.
You see my spare room. I'm in danger of divorce with the amount of retro I've got in the house now.
I love it.
Flossie and a number of others have met Mrs. 21 as well, and she despairs at the sheer amount of retro we've got coming as well. And there are companies that do support us. We had, do you know a company called SwiftPoint who make the best mouse in the world from down in the Antipodes, and so they sponsored us one year with their Z mouse, the Z mouse, the best mouse, and we got the guys behind the game adaptations of Fighting Fantasy books as well. They sponsored us one year and gave us a load of stuff to play with. So a lot of companies get behind it, and Frontier as well, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, very important question. Is anyone going to be doing DJ sets?
There won't be, well, the Hutton Mayhem band is open for requests for people that want to do something cool. If they want.
Sorry?
Anybody who wants to do something, then get in the Discord and say, hey, I fancy doing something, and we'll see if we can fit it in the schedule. So we have the music section, with Tokuso and the band. There is definitely open for ideas.
I was about to say, send Michael or Creep out there with their decks. They will just start putting on a show.
Yeah, in the evening.
Michael mixes on his computer, actually, so he's going to have to borrow Creeps.
The only bit with music is we would have to mute any streams. So if we did, it would be an out of hours or late one, because any licensed music, we would end up muting the Twitch streams and whatever. If licensed music.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We can do an after-hour set.
Yeah, I was about to say, interesting thing about Twitch music streaming is that if you do stream it and it does end up in a VOD, the VOD itself will get muted at that point. But streaming live, there seems to be no issues through Twitch, especially if you have, say, for example, the DJ.
We've been muted before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some licensed music when we were in Reading a couple of years ago, and we actually got the stream muted for 20 minutes.
What?
Yep.
I know that they have a category now for specifically DJing, and that one does allow licensed music, but no VODs for it because of it.
Yeah, we don't monetize any of the streaming
categories midstream.
Yeah,
I don't know if that works.
I doubt it.
But yeah, I mean, there's multi-room cameras set up, so we've got telly in the bar so that you can see what's going on in the Artemis rooms when you're having a pint in the bar. It's just the vibe is awesome, and it's very different to any event you've ever been to, particularly gaming event.
Yeah.
What I'd give to go into the Starship Simulator, honestly, because I've never done one of those.
Yeah,
been
I'm
wanting
gonna
to.
definitely do that.
Well, we
Now
are
that I'm
currently
back.
Carius and a commander called Little Grey and I are actually designing control panels. So RSW Sound to do the lighting rig are actually building us some control panels so that you're not just using it. It's all touchscreens as well. So you're actually running the Starship
Oh,
off touchscreens.
glorious!
My God.
So the engineering console has got 8 sliders in front of them where they're increasing and decreasing power to the engines and the weapons in real time, and you can increase the coolant to them so they don't overheat and you don't die. The scanning guy or girl, you have to tune in the scanning by turning a dial to actually tune in the scanner to get frequencies when you're scanning other ships. So it's quite tactile as well.
It's like playing Star Trek
Awesome.
Bridge Crew all over again.
It
Yeah,
is.
but with actual haptic controls.
Hmm. God, that'd be nice.
Get the feedback from them, but yeah, we're working on a physical control setup. So Little Grey is an electronic engineer, and he's designing some control panels for us as well. And then RSW Sound are designing us some desks so it looks like a bridge.
Absolute beauty. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I've got to see pictures of that when it's done. Honestly.
On
I
the
mean, you
Discord,
can
there are
come
links to the
and
gallery and videos from last year, and it's quite special. Yeah, it
That was
really is
quite
the
special last year as well. Like I just looked into the rooms while the people were playing, and it was just the vibe. It was like you actually stepped on the bridge of a starship.
Well, here's the thing: the captain of the vessel does not have any controls. The
No.
only control they've got is their voice.
Yep.
So you have to ask weapons. So don't tickle him, kill him. Or you have to say, "Science, can you scan ship number whatever it is?" And then you have to ask one of the other stations to put. I want the long range scan on the main viewer. They switch from the front view of the ship to the tactical scan. And you said, right, when you scan those 3 on the right, somebody load up some EMPs and some missiles. And Helm, I want you to turn to 180. And the captain's only got their voice to control the ship.
Yeah.
I could imagine somebody
even-
going full
I mean-
fucking Patrick Stewart on as a captain. Just
Yeah.
You get to yell engage and go to warp, yes. And we have been actually given permission by HCS voice packs as well to use some of the audio on the bridge. So we do have some of our cast, and they have given us license permission to use some of the voices. So we do have a bit of John Delancey, Blessed, etc. They've licensed to use it. We're trying to see if we can get the audio rigged in, because we do have recordings from some of the cast as well, which are. I'm risking pushing one of these buttons because they're a bit sweary as well.
yeah. Don't do
So
it.
I'm going to do it, but you get John Delancey when you win something, sort of saying,
My cup runneth over with delight, but let's fill it up the next time with a good scotch.
That's awesome.
that kind of thing, or a little bit of Brian Blessed. I'm going to swear now, by the way. Anybody who's sensitive, block your ears. From Brian Blessed when you blow up is brilliant.
Oh, we didn't even get to hear it because it ended up clipping.
Oh, you didn't get to hear it? Oh,
Nah.
no.
Didn't come through.
Oh, well, just trust me. It sounded awesome.
I believe.
Yeah. But yeah, so they've offered that we can use some of the audio clips that they've recorded actually in the bridge as well. So you get some of the Star Trek cast actually responding.
God, what a blessing some of these people must be. I swear. Some of these people
Yeah,
I'll never
definitely
meet in
don't
my
wanna be the
lifetime, but
control.
Yeah, never meet your heroes. Actually, they've all been awesome to work with in studio. They have been legendary.
As someone who has worked as event security for celebrities in the past, I can attest, yes, do not meet your heroes because they are a good share of them are absolute assholes. But
Yeah, there are some great ones. There's some terrible ones, but I have to say, I mean, the ones that were entirely memorable. I mean, John Delancey, Q from Star Trek. I mean, just the funniest human being, the sweariest, funniest human being as well, and that baritone voice of his. Or Brent Spiner, who plays Commander Data. What a gentleman! What a lovely, lovely man.
I hear
Yeah.
he and John Frakes are doing a podcast as well, and they both seem like absolute wonders to work with.
I'd heard that he was really prickly, and then we worked with him when up in Malibu when we went over to to work over there in a recording studio to record all the audio for the exobiology pack for HCS. And beautiful, beautiful venue. We kicked out the Red Hot Chili Peppers who were in before us. It was our time, and they were in my way, and Dua Lipa, and we got them out, and then Mr. Spiner, Brent's car pulled up, and it was post-COVID times, so we'd just flown transatlantic, so we were still wearing masks, because I am not going down as the dude who killed William Shatner with COVID. That's just not going to be on my CV.
Right.
Anyway, but Brent Spiner turned up, we all the masks, I said, oh, we're still doing that, put them on. But at the end of the recording session, when we were outside, he insisted on, no, come on, we have to get a photograph, and he invited us to come and have a photograph as a team outside, having done the recording, and he actually put me in the sound booth, and he directed me briefly recording some of his lines,
Really?
which was very cool.
Did you save any of those? I almost want to hear them.
I do have them somewhere privately. I not stuff I can broadcast.
Of course.
Yeah. But it was what a gentleman, what a lovely, lovely man Brent Spiner is. And I'd heard he was prickly and difficult, but actually, completely not true. The man is an absolute gentleman. And I mean, crikey, went over there and got to work with William Shatner, albeit he's an eccentric, odd, not everybody's cup of tea fella. But I tell you what, he's been to space and he's Captain Kirk, and I got to spend an afternoon working with him, and that was just, wow.
I mean, not to be rude, but man is old. So there is that.
Yes, but still, I mean, it's just my childhood. It just arrived in actor form. So that was pretty cool. We do get.
I think it's hilarious because other than Ben, I think I am actually the youngest person in here. A lot of people say, "Yeah, no, William Shatner was my childhood." Like,
Wait, how old are
I
you?
am
How
the
old are you?
youngest.
Me, I am 32.
Okay, how old is Ben?
23.
Yeah, I know.
Damn
Ben.
it! No, you have got me beat. I'm 24.
There you go.
Oh,
So you're not in Babylon
another
5
young
here.
one.
Yeah.
But no, I find it hilarious how people say, William Shatner was my childhood. No, dude, Kate Mulgrew was my childhood. Like Voyager.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
I never got into Star Trek. This is all going right over my head.
Yeah, I know you
I
missed
do
out, Ben.
actually have her autograph in my desk, and also my mother talked for like 20 minutes to oh shit, how did I forget his name? The guy that played the doctor. How did I forget his name?
Bob Picardo.
No. Yes, Bob Picardo. Like I did have, I wanted to say Robert Picard, and I was like, no, that doesn't
Technically,
sound correct.
that's pretty close, actually. Yeah, Robert Picardo.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, Robert Picard. Like my mom talked to him for like 20 minutes about my baby sister when we were there at the recent con, and she was very happy about that because like it's essentially what she raised me with. Like I would just exist in the house and there would be Voyager running all the time.
Yeah,
so it was a fun time.
Oh yeah, basically sci-fi heroes. I mean, how I've accidentally fallen into this, but I tell you what, by putting my time into special effect, I got to do this gig. And you don't give to charity to get stuff out of it, but by giving my time to special effect, I mean, I've met Ian Livingstone, who wrote and designed the Fighting Fantasy books back when I was young, and is also one of the guys behind Games Workshop and Lara Croft. And he's now a BAFTA fellow, and I get to meet my own heroes. For goodness sake, it's awesome.
On another tangent, we need to tell GW to stop focusing on the Space Marines and give us some Imperial Guardsmen content. Thank you. But again, that's a tangent. No need to focus on that now.
So, Distant Worlds, how's it going for you guys?
We are at waypoint 12 now, I believe. Let me see. I need to actually pull up Meta Elite because I did my mission for the day, but by jumping back in because the carrier was already here. But let me take a look.
Waypoint 12.
Yes, we
Well,
are.
I'm four waypoints behind.
Yes,
I've been
waypoint
losing some
12.
steam and kind of losing ground a little bit, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Now, see, I completed Distant Worlds 2, so when I went to Beagle Point and back, I was like, you know what? I've had my fair share of exploring the galaxy. This time, I am literally just along for the ride as Radio Man. I'm going to be broadcasting from the Chista as often as I can. That is until I quit my job. So yeah, now I'm looking for a new job.
Stage 5.
Yeah.
Oh God. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was just staring at where you are in the galaxy.
Yeah.
That was rude of me. I was just.
No worries.
Yeah, no, nonsense. You know, if you feel the need to interrupt, by all means. But yeah, we are only 3 waypoints away now, Zoria?
Yeah, the final waypoint will be waypoint 15, and we are on 12.
12,
so
yeah, so-
just 3 left after this one.
Yep. And
Do we know when the
with the
scannable beacon will be announced?
Soon.
we
ECM.
Yeah.
we technically have
TM.
four missions of Meta Elite left for this expedition as well. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to go back and hit any location that you haven't hit yet for your Meta Elite XP.
All of them.
Yeah.
I will say,
And of course, very generous of Frontier to have delayed operations until you guys have got slightly further.
Yeah, was it?
Mhm.
No, we're gonna get blamed for everything that they do during the time that we're out. So yeah, that was generous of them to do that just for us.
That was good. That was good of them
Just
to
for us.
delay it
Yeah,
for you.
just
Yeah,
for us.
absolutely.
Since you did bring up the beacon, I will because it is a question that's going to get asked a lot. I will just touch on it a little bit more, since we did have a fairly important announcement regarding it. Nagi had posted the end date for us and the last waypoint for us, and just kind of to circle back to that, we know that this is the time, this last leg of the journey is the time where people start to get a little antsy, start to get a little burnt out, start to get a little excited about the end. Some people even a little sad because it's coming to an end, and it's been a great experience.
Big mission.
Yeah, it's big, and so we understand that, and definitely want to reiterate, there's still more to do. There's still 3 more waypoints. There's still science. There's still scanning. There's still events we have planned. There's finales. There's a lot still coming, and so this is for the real the commanders that really stick it out, that really push through. We hope that you'll feel rewarded at the end for sticking out. And one of the things that's still coming is the beacon. And to give a little bit more information, for people who haven't been watching the recaps or the announcements, who happen to be listening here, the beacon announcement will be coming soon TM. And it will be available only for a limited time.
Ooh.
That time will be short. That time is determined. That time is going to be announced and put in place by Frontier. There's many pieces at work here. We have some input. Frontier has their decisions, and so some things are out of our hands. Some things we had, input into. So, it's a mixture of both. Not everything is 100%, the way, we would have dictated it. It's not 100% their way either. So there's a little bit of compromise going on there. But it will be a limited time. It will not be the length of time that Distant Worlds 2 was. Distant Worlds 2, if I remember correctly, I think you had a month after the expedition was over to complete it, if I'm remembering that number correctly. That is not going to be the case for this. This beacon is going to exist for a short period of time, and it will be gone when the expedition ends. You will not be able to complete this for past the end date of the expedition. And I want to be very
So for anyone
clear
who's lagging
about-
behind, get caught up.
this
Starfish,
is
right?
the time. Yeah, this is the time to get caught up. We will make sure that you know about the beacon. We will make sure you know where it is. We will make sure that you will be given time to scan it, but it will not exist past the end of the expedition. But I want to make 2 points very, very clear that are tied together. Number one, if you can't make it to the beacon by the time the expedition is over, that doesn't mean you didn't complete Distant Worlds 3. This is only for the in-game decal that Frontier is ending. That is all it is for. It is nothing else. As far as we are concerned, as Distant Worlds, and as, you know, our website registration and whether or not you, in quotes, completed this expedition. If you've completed this expedition, you've completed this expedition. If you were along with us for the ride and you lagged behind a couple of waypoints and you're going to finish it, you know, a week or two late, you are just as much a participant and an explorer and a completionist just like the rest of us. That doesn't detract anything from your accomplishments. It doesn't detract anything from, you know, your contribution. This is solely Frontier and the in-game decal that this beacon is for. So
If I may,
I want to be clear about that because I know a couple of times I've kind of seen this like, what, that's not fair. I did the expedition. Yeah, you're absolutely, you have done the expedition, you've completed the expedition, and the accolades are still yours. This is specifically for this in-game decal, and like I said, it's going to be a limited time. We will let you know about it. Frontier is also going to let you know about it, so it's going to be well broadcast between, you know, Discord and in game and, you know, and just Elite more broadly. But yeah, it will not exist past the end of Distant Worlds 3 Expedition, which the final date of that is May 17th. Boy, I really hope I got that date right. It's May 17th is going to be our finale date.
Yeah.
So counter question to that then, is the inverse also true in the sense that even if you scan the beacon but you don't reach the last waypoint, does that mean, as far as you guys are concerned, you haven't completed the expedition but you get the decal?
Right. So I'm trying not to divulge too much about, you know, I'm treading this conversation carefully, and
I'm not trying to like trip you up or anything, by the way. Like, that wasn't like a gotcha or anything. I'm
yeah,
just
no.
I kind of want to boil it down to, you know, it's just that no matter what they tell you, you're a bona fide explorer. Don't let no lack of decal tell you any different.
I mean, number one, there's definitely that, right?
Yeah.
This decal doesn't make a difference. Like, it doesn't mean anything in the broader sense of like, did you complete DW3? It doesn't. Michael,
it's a badge of honor, though. Like that admittedly, it is like people do see it as a bit of a badge of honor.
Sure.
So I think
for sure. And here's the thing too, is that there is a if you have been with us the whole time, and you are, you know, been doing all the waypoints, and you've completed all these things, for whatever reason, this brief time period that this beacon is available, you cannot scan the beacon. You aren't going to be available. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to lose out on the in-game decal, because we do appreciate the fact that that is going to be important for a lot of people. Frontier has definitely worked in the past to allow people who missed out on like Distant Worlds 2. There were definitely people who missed that timeline, and they still were able to get their in-game decal. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get it. If you can't be there for this specific time period that the beacon is offered, and you were a participant, you know, you're registered with us and you were a participant, and it just happens to be this brief time period that you're lagging a little too far behind, you just can't catch up. We will have a little bit further messaging out about this, but we're working with Frontier to make sure that those people are still recognized in the way that they deserve to be, so they still get those decals. So I do want to put that out there. That doesn't necessarily mean like this brief period.
Gotcha.
If you just can happen, and you're registered on the website, you've been participating. You don't fret, don't freak out. We'll give you a little bit more information once we're able to give all the information. There'll be a little bit more information about that, but you'll be able to, you know, contact us, and we'll get word through Frontier and help you, you know, get that decal, so you get the recognition that you do deserve. So
we understand you were in a coma. Don't worry, we'll do everything in our power to help you.
Yeah, I mean, real life happens. Like all of us, you know, real life happens. So we'll get it. We'll get it taken. We'll get you taken care of. If you're one of our actual participants, and like I said, you know, we'll get you taken care of. We're going to make sure that do our best to make sure that everyone. See, I got to be so careful about this. We'll do our best to make sure, that we'll get you taken care of and you get that in-game decal. But still, I would.
If you're
As a-
Loot Goblin, though, that is just after the decals. Then there's an honor system whereby you better go and do the rest of the waypoints, even if it's
I
late,
mean, yeah.
or people
I
will
have
growl.
my own
Probably.
personal opinion of you. If you,
If you're a grotty Loot Goblin, we can say that.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I have my own personal opinion of you, which I will keep to myself.
And just a reminder, a disclaimer that again, the decal is not guaranteed if you do not scan the beacon, but they again will do everything in their power to assist you to get it.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to issue guarantees because again, like I'm towing the line of speaking for Frontier here, and I don't ever want to. I don't want to come across as doing that.
How to say, imagine
but I
getting
feel-
fleet comms sued because you made a false promise.
I will say that I am personally very confident that if you are a registered participant of Distant Worlds and you have been along this journey with us and you can't scan that beacon, we'll be able to get you that decal. I am personally confident of that. So that's me.
The best you can
Zori.
say. Yeah.
Can I make you
There was
guys an
another
offer
question.
from Hutton as a present for Distant Worlds?
Oh,
Would it be inappropriate?
I don't
Oh.
know. It depends on what it is.
If I was to give you guys 5 of the Hutton Orbital Truckers decals for 5 people you deem to have gone above and beyond in the name of duty
Ooh.
as presents.
Ooh.
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 You have to earn it. You have to earn it by doing the
Right,
difficult
right.
stuff in the galaxy. You only get these ones by doing the difficult stuff in the galaxy. If I was to give you guys 5 codes for Hutton decals for you to determine between you, 5 people that have gone above and beyond in the name of exploration and being at Distant Worlds as a super
Yeah.
special
Hutton
treat.
Award of Excellency.
I could
Yeah.
definitely see a use case for a few of those. If you get with me or JBL, one of the two of us on the side, and we can talk to you about that. I think we do have some. I think we could definitely find a
It's
home for those.
things like that. Hutton recognises, as we always have, those who've gone above and beyond in the name of awesome, difficult stuff.
Right.
And so yeah. I mean, I'm on your Discord now, as I'm here.
Sure.
Commander Van Tieren, drop me a message, and I'm more than happy for Hutton Official to drop you 5 in special recognition. You know what I mean? Not just the team running it, but people you think that have gone above and beyond or have earned something special. Whether it's something spectacular they've done or a spectacular disaster they've recovered from and then carried on regardless, or you know what I mean? Something that's in the spirit of Distant Worlds. Then yeah, I'm quite happy to stump up 5 of our decals.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll message you on that.
Yep.
Amazing.
Cool.
So there was a question earlier about the decal. I think that's already been addressed earlier, not today, but in general.
Give me just a
question,
moment here, folks. Something broke on my end.
Now that I'm being asked that out loud, I am 90% positive the answer is they will not be available. But let me.
So why is that? Do we know where that is?
I just believe that it's because nothing is live there. I don't know that they don't update. There's nothing live.
Oh, it's because it's not part of Odyssey, right?
Right.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I missed
it's
it.
not
What was
Odyssey.
it that ended
a
up
legacy.
not being available?
I'm sorry. What was your question? I couldn't hear you.
Said I missed it. Well, because my thing jumped me out. But what was it that
Sure.
was not going to be available?
Oh, just
The decal for console.
Decal on console.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I will double check it. I'll see if I can't get the answer now.
Yeah, good to know. Just to put the question out there, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a
All right.
good one. I hadn't.
Let's get back to the ECM.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to pull too far away, but I as soon as I heard the beacon get pulled up, I could just kind of feel the questions,
Yeah.
I just
mean,
I want to make sure.
I'm about to say, I thought we'd gone through most of the ECM stuff at this point.
No,
No.
No.
no, I'm opposed.
I'll say,
That
I did.
EM stuff?
I'll-
Oh my god, I'm gonna fall over and collapse.
Yeah,
I just need
because
to.
okay, you first,
Sorry.
Nick.
No. I just need to do a little quick shout out to Commander Blake because I did a bunch of jumps and left myself in a situation where I was unable to, because I basically disembarked a fleet carrier, and then I was left in a position where I couldn't literally jump anywhere.
Oof.
And Commander Blake flew out and taxied me, picked me up, and taxied me to waypoint 10. And I promised to give him a shout out on the podcast. So thanks, Commander Blake. You're an absolute lifesaver. I was completely stranded. No amount of no fuel rack could have saved me. Nothing unless the fleet carrier come and picked me up. So the guy came and picked me up. I docked on it, landed on a planet, got out, got in his ship. He ferried me over to a fleet carrier, and then I, recalled my ship from there,
Gotta
which
love
was
Colin
crazy.
Back.
Just want to shout him up.
How much did it cost you? I have to ask.
Now look, I don't want to say that the better option would have been to self-destruct.
Eject.
It would have been financially, but principally, I was pleased to have been rescued and ferried over somewhere. So, thanks, Commander Blake, for that. Sorry, please continue.
As a reminder,
Alright.
Commander, make sure that you have a stock of Jumponium available at all times.
I've got Jumponium, and even with the Jumponium, I couldn't reach anywhere.
Calm down.
But I was reading about the last podcast.
All right, so David, I
Yes,
had to think for a moment what I was going to call you.
21.
What are the most
for you.
unique things you had at the ECM so far in the history of it?
Oh, the unique things. So a couple of years ago, the elite community lost one of its commanders, Commander Paul Vernon. Paul Vernon, sadly, unfortunately, left. It must be 3 years ago now, and he had a collection of retro computing, the likes of which I've never seen, including a full BBC Master System audio controls. It had a music keyboard, and it has a thing like a theremin where you move your hand near it, and it's one of only 4 in the world of this sort of. It looks like a gooseneck, and you move your hand near it, and it plays music via a BBC Master System. So yeah, probably the most unique thing we had there a couple of years ago was that, and we have been given a custodianship of his retro collection by his partner, who said, "Look, I just cannot bear the thought of his collection being broken apart, separated, sold, or used for parts." So we've taken custodianship of that, and there are some real treasures in some of the things that he left behind. The deal is that we look after it so that people can enjoy it at events. It is never to be sold, it is never to be broken up, and it is to be brought to be loved by the community. And that's probably the most unique thing. Collection that we have at ECM is the Paul Vernon Memorial Collection of retro computing.
Awesome. Right, so that brings me neatly to the next point, which is what are your most cherished memories about ECM in terms of events and stuff?
It is, I mean, my personal. I'm going to talk personally. My life is sort of defined a lot of the time by being surrounded by some of the most awesome friends that I've met, and Elite has introduced me to what are now 14 years later the most phenomenal group of human beings. I am going to be best man at one of the community's weddings in a few weeks. I get to see them a lot of them because we're all over the country once a year, and for me, just yeah, it's a lot of hard graft putting the event on, but standing there and just watching what is now 180 of my friends having the most marvelous day. It sounds a bit hippie, but I'm at my happiest when I'm busy. ECM keeps me, oh my goodness, busy. But the joy of catching up with such great people for me, my abiding memory of it is just the fun and the joy that we have, and catching up and making new friends and catching up with old friends. I mean, we had somebody the other day, for instance, a guy who needed to get a pet to a vet somewhere. And just posted out, does anybody in this area? And the ECM community stepped up, and somebody who lived locally, because the guy didn't drive, took his car over and took him and his pet to the vet, kind of situation. It's that kind of community. It was like sort of fuel ratting or hull sealing in real life. People getting together, lending a hand. So it's formed a phenomenal community. And I sound really hippie, but for me, the abiding memory is just, my goodness, the friendships I've made over the last 14 years of doing this and helping run the event is just incredible.
All right, that's a powerful one. Flossie, what about you? All right,
We got a Flossie?
we got a Flossie here, but she's not talking. Well,
Sorry, can you hear me now?
yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have one keyboard and two computers, and it switches between them. I just think all the events have just been really wonderful. It's great to meet old friends every year, and as David says, make new ones. And I really enjoyed meeting Norman Lovett when he was there, 2 years running, and he's such a nice person.
He was so fanboying over meeting you, by the way.
Was he?
Yeah. We told him what a legend you are, and he was totally fanboying over it.
All right. I didn't realise I wasn't. No,
You're a superstar.
I know I'm sort of one of the oldest who goes there, and I must look a bit out of place, I suppose.
Not at all.
With all these young people there. But I know that the first year Norman Lovett was there, and I had my photo taken with him. Oh, I just looked like a really old woman. And the next year I thought, right, I'm going to change something. So I've changed my hairstyle and that, and hopefully made a better impression. I was
I mean, there are all sorts of stories. I mean,
yeah.
It's like one of the guys. He said he doesn't mind me sharing this one. A couple of years ago, he lost his wife, and he tunes in on a Thursday night to the Hut Middle radio show and listens to all the elite related podcasts, and so he knows all of our voices. And when he comes to ECM, he just came up and just sort of shook warmly by the hand. He said, "This is sort of kept me going. I get to be surrounded by my friends every week when I listen to all these podcasts, and whether it's Hut and it's you guys, you know what I mean, all the various community based stuff, and then I get to come along and meet them in person." And one of the warmest things was just when he came up and just thank you for doing this, because it keeps me going, after the bereavement he had, and as long as one person's day is made better than like that, I'll keep doing it.
And one thing I really enjoyed was in 1974, it was my husband and I's golden wedding on the same day. So that was a really magical event for us.
Last year, golden wedding?
74.
No, 74 was when I'm doing the sums forwards from that. Yeah. Well, and we've got, I think we've got an 18th birthday, a 50th birthday, and another one this year. It was Alvin's retirement party.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, so we have to do something special after the event is officially over. in the after hours. There's
Oh,
so many
last
birthdays.
year when I finished, our sponsor sneakily handed me a pair of triple gins just before we did the Dockers podcast, and they may have gone in, and I did the entire live bit of my performance. 3 sheets to the goodness no, I was flying by that point, and then they put me on a Starship bridge, the full Cecil, and they put me on a Starship bridge, incredibly drunk. And had me control Starship Bridge because I'd not played one game all day because I was running around. And they said, right, you're stopping, you're drinking both of those, and you're flying a Starship.
That sounds like Ben on a regular Tuesday.
Yeah, I was about to chime in and say that. Yeah, that's pretty. That sounds like a good time. I'm.
Mister can drink a 6-pack in 30 minutes. Come on.
I need money. I need money.
That's me.
My money
that's me
goes
on
to
Tuesday
beer,
morning.
Akoralai. I don't have money to fly to Europe or the UK. Come on.
At the very least, dial into one of the screens. Get your face on one of the screens that we've got, because we've got remote screens you can join in. Get your face on the screen and come say hi to everybody remotely at the very least.
Mm.
All right, I'll slam a 6-pack on the screen and we can call it a day there.
Yeah, literally go full Iron Mouse. Just on the screen, on the Segway, just roll up to people and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Huh.
Yeah,
I can't lie, that does sound like fun. I could just follow Michael around.
Yeah.
If we're doing distant radio stuff, we can definitely also bring you on remotely.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely be willing to run a set. That sounds like fun. This is like running a set,
but like for something else without music. I mean, just maybe we could do a podcast episode.
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
we have people who do their streams, so we've got quite a lot of streamers there, and they do live streams from the event as well. So yeah, all sorts you can do.
Fancy.
Do you want to do it? Yeah. Commander Wotherspoon of Galnet Digest fame. He does record a special one and does it a live performance at ECM as well.
Nice.
And he is as much of a legend in person, by the way, as he sounds on his on the Galnet News Digest broadcasts.
I feel so bad because all of these major community names that have been out there for years, and I know absolutely none of them.
Yeah, I'm too new.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
New.
I've been in the community for 7 years, but I literally flew DW2, called it a day, and then when DW3 was announced, I'm like, all right, I'm busting out the aspects again. It's time to go. And I've met absolutely no one but other radio folk on this entire journey.
But Elite, it's funny. I remember being about 10 years ago out in Elite, and I was out in deep space somewhere, and I was bumped into by another commander, and then I, in the middle of nowhere, you just bump into somebody. I mean, space is big. The likelihood of bumping into somebody is pretty slim. Yeah. And bumped into this guy, and you connect up in the game, make friends list, whatever else, and have a chat online, do a bit of flying together, and then catch up. And I realised he was one of my old mates from university. I spent half my life around his flat at university, and I bumped into him in the middle of the Milky Way. I didn't even know he played Elite. So I bumped into
a world. It's a small galaxy.
It's so fun.
He'd emigrated to Canada after university, so he's now mostly Canadian. And I hadn't seen him since we left university, and we've caught up in person since. But I literally bumped into him in the middle of the Milky Way.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I've only ran into one other person out there. Even on this Distant Worlds trip, but it did happen one time, so I know that it can indeed happen. I've had people come and find me. I'm like a target every once in a while, which that's pretty fun too. But it's cool to just be out there and be like, "What the? There's a guy here."
The radar, there's a hollow one. What? Well, there's a hollow one on my radar, and then realized there was another commander in this system, and it's like, what is the likelihood of that? I mean, I wasn't even on on one of the popular routes. I was just out, scanning things. This is pre-exobiology, so I was just out there honking and scooping and jumping.
1 in 200 billion chance or whatever.
Just honk and go.
400 billion, I think.
Yeah, 400 billion. It's a lot. It's a big number.
Well, actually, because it's 2 people, it should be 800 billion.
Yeah.
Is that how the math works there?
But then to be somebody you know, and then somebody you know really well, it is just I don't know what the odds are, but what's the old Terry Pratchett? 1,000,000 to 1 chances happen 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. That's that you have a better chance of winning the lottery, and at that rate, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning.
But if you ran into someone in the Milky Way, so you should have already won the lottery at least once, and been struck by lightning at least once. That's
At
how
least
statistics
twice.
work. Or twice, yeah.
Well, that'll happen at some point then. I got many years left.
Mm-hmm.
Until that day comes.
Well, it's that old quote, isn't it? It's mind-bogglingly big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the full quote? I can't remember what the full quote is on that one. It's Douglas Adams, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I think.
Space is big. You just won't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. That quote. I mean, you may think it's a long way down the road to the chemists, but that's just peanuts to space. There we go. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hmm.
Well, look, thank you. I mean, thank you guys for inviting me on as well, and let me wax lyrical. I know I've done an awful lot of talking this evening, but it's an absolute pleasure to be invited and to join in a little bit, remotely from here at Hutton Orbital, which is the furthest nearest place you can go to.
Honestly,
Can I ask you one quick thing about that?
Yeah.
I was searching for stuff. I got into this radio before anything else on Elite Dangerous, and then I discovered Lave Radio, and now I was doing my homework and I found Hutton Orbital Radio, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I watched the stream, and I was like, "What is going on?" Can you explain to me what Hutton Orbital Radio is?
So, in a system just round the corner from the Sol system, Alpha Centauri, a trinary star system made up of Alpha Centauri, A, B, and Proxima Centauri. There is an orbital
There's a free
which
anaconda.
is free anaconda, 0.22 light years away from the jump point, which is around Proxima, which isn't actually the nearest, even though it's called Proxima. So you have got to. Originally, you had to fly an hour and in a straight line.
Yep.
An hour and a half in a straight line, doing absolutely nothing apart from flying in a straight line to get there. So there was no purpose for it being there, but there was a rare good there. So there was originally Centauri Megagin, and we were invited by Zach Antonacci, the dastardly Don Antonacci, to submit a suggestion for a rare good early on in the game, and there was. There was a Sothis one, and there was ours, and there were a load of others. There were a load of submissions, and so I was away in Spain on holiday with my dear old mum at the time. Dear old mum and I used to play Elite when I was a young lad, and I would fly the ship, and she would do the trading. And we'd done LaveCon, and there were lots of shouts of "Mug" during things to do with Lave Radio and their broadcasts. And a group of us got drinking in the evening and said, wouldn't it be funny if I flew all the way to Hutton and all I got was this mug? So we submitted for the rare item for Hutton Orbital, a rare item called the Hutton Orbital mug, which is made from the salvage frameshift drives of ships that don't make it all the way to Hutton because they didn't take enough fuel with them. And we submitted this as a joke and got 60% of the votes. So Frontier inserted the Hutton Orbital mug as a rare good. The only at the time system that had 2 rare goods in it was Hutton Orbital. And we had Centauri Megagin and the Hutton Orbital mug. And the special thing about the Hutton Orbital mug, because it was made of frameshift drive plates, is when you are in supercruise, it warms up. The frameshift energies warm your mug up and keeps your drink warm while you're flying an hour and a half, hour 45 in a straight line. So in order to get it injected into the game, there was a CG, and Flossie, queen of the CGs. This was very early on in the days of CGs. You had to haul scrap to Hutton, so scrap materials to Hutton in quantities as a CG, and at the end of it, depending on what tier we got to, was how many mugs would be on offer at Hutton Orbital. And so Psycho Cow was working a lot with live radio and said, well, why don't we, while the CG is going on, do a live radio show, which is just in fiction, in parody, just to keep people company while they're flying for an hour and a half in a straight line to deliver some scrap for no profit. You actually made a loss on the scrap when you sold it.
It was.
And so we ran up the radio show, and we read what was going on in the game. We wrote news articles based on Orange Sidewinders and whatever it is, and kept people company for the entire week of the CG, and raised a load of money for charity during the process. And we got to the end of it absolutely knackered, having broadcast solidly for 7 days straight between the entire team, and raised money for charity. The CG finished, the mug was inserted into game, which is the origin of the Hutton Orbital mug. And then people said, well, why don't you keep doing it? So we agreed on a Thursday night to do a live broadcast of Hutton Orbital Radio. And it starts off with news. And what we do is we read the forums, and we read the Frontiers notifications for the week, and we read the various Facebook groups about what people have been up to. And it is presented in fiction. We are a radio crew sitting at Hutton Orbital, 0.22 light years from anywhere. You'd have to be mad to fly there, broadcasting to the galaxy our version of the news of what we believe. And we used to play music, but then obviously we went a bit to Twitch, so we do it on the radio show, but then we went to a Twitch stream as well. And so it's Flossie, it's me, it's Lithobreaker, it's Volcarius. We've had a crew waxing and waning over the years. And yeah, it starts off with news articles. We do a bit of space news, so we cover from now times what's been going on with SpaceX and Blue Origin, all these kind of things. We do a quiz. We sometimes do the Galnet Rares Digest, where Amelia reviews all of the Galaxy's rares, including the dangerous ones, and usually ends up injured as a result. Commander Wotherspoon lets us rebroadcast his Galnet News Digest that he records specially for us on a Thursday. Flossie introduces this week's community goals and gives updates on that. We have a lot of banter, a lot of fun. It's very silly, and it's just a bunch of elite players having a laugh and it's all in fiction, if you know what I mean. It's in game.
It's funny that you mentioned the Hutton Orbital mug, because we actually just got a story that got sent into us about someone who went out to Hutton Orbital and literally took Hutton Orbital mugs and brought them to Beagle Point and then just ejected them and just called them the furthest the furthest
that was done within a couple of hours of Beagle Point being created. Yes, the first mugs were dropped at Beagle Point.
Oh no, this was recent. This was recent.
Right, but it also happened in
Did it?
The early days. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was deep lore.
Yeah.
They were thrown into Sagittarius A star as soon as as soon as we got them was straight into Sagittarius A star. They were taken and thrown into it. We fed them to Thargoids. Yeah, we literally we've taken a shipload of Hutton mugs out to one of the Titans and tried ejecting them into the vents of a Titan to see if it helped. We've taken canisters of mugs and rolled them inside the Thargoid planetary bases.
My word.
And tried inserting them into the various Thargoid machines. Yeah, I mean, people take them everywhere.
Yeah, it's quite the tradition.
I need to go get one.
We had a couple of events early on for distributing them around various parts of the galaxy.
Yeah, well, the law states that drinking from a Hutton mug prevents mods. Now, mods is a debilitating condition called mug ownership deficiency syndrome. Is if you don't have your Hutton mug, you come down with space allergy. So the only way to avoid it is to have a Hutton mug aboard your ship at all times, so you don't get mods.
That's why I've been going so fucking crazy.
And here I thought my Distant Worlds 2 Mug Club mug would suffice, but I guess not.
I thought the distant radio mug would work, but it doesn't.
Nope.
Damn
You
it.
need more than one.
Yeah.
If you were to walk into Frontiers offices over in Cambridge, there is a trophy cabinet just inside the front door, and it contains their various golden joysticks and awards they've had, and a Hutton Orbital mug on a rotating base over the remains of a Code pirate. So there was a pirate group called the Code, who were really sort of prevalent in the early days of Elite, smashing up other ships, and they sent us one because they killed a load of our commanders during the the CG. They were interdicting us and smashing pilots, but it was all done in fun. It was done by consent, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They were the official bad guys, and they sent us one of their mugs, which got smashed in transit when it was sent to us. So we actually assembled the broken pieces of it, mounted one of our mugs on top of it on a rotary base, and presented it to Frontier as a thank you from us. And it actually sits in their trophy cabinet alongside their golden joysticks and their, all their awards.
Oh, that is glorious.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. Is there an advert for the mugs?
Oh, there's a theme song.
A theme song?
Oh yeah.
Is it a Tokuso song? Because
no, this was done by a commando in the real early days, and our media site is actually just being updated at the moment. I just wonder if I've got we've had covers. It's been so popular that people have recorded covers of it. Real musicians have recorded covers of it. So let me just I can probably get a link if you look for the mug song on YouTube, I think, for the mug Elite Dangerous music. Somebody even did a music video for it as well that we didn't even ask them to, but they did, which is quite cool.
It's also on Beat Saber if you have the
and it's also Beat Saber,
customized version.
Tai Chi, the better you'll.
Oh no, adverts. There we go. No, get rid of that. I was just trying to find a link for you as well, which I'll put into our chat here. But there is actually, we have an official theme song, which talks about Flossie flying into a sun, which is not true.
I did in the very early days when I was learning to fuel scope. I did have a couple of accidents because people told me to go below the green line instead of over it when I was scooping. Yeah. So that's the only time I crashed into the sun.
I'm pretty good at doing that.
There's no harm in that.
I'm wondering because my audio was cutting out because I think I've got it set for cutting out background sounds. So I think my audio was cutting out, but I might be able to play it if I just do open mic with no processing on here.
Yeah.
Open mic with no processing. Tell me if this is coming through. Hang on a second. Is it going to come through?
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, so am I. So am I.
Yeah.
Long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. Fall in mud. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Fall in mud. Now everybody sing the hot trucker song. Fall in mud. Flossie always seems to crash into the sun. Squibble likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. Fall in mud. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Fall in mud. Now everybody sing the hot trucker song. Fall in mud. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Fall in mud. Now everybody sing the hot trucker song. Give me a large pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. No part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hudson, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. Fall in mud. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from.
It is a damn shame that For the Mug.com is down right now.
It is. No, we're in the middle of transferring the servers over. So yeah, we've got a media site. Oh, and sketches and skits and versions of comedy sketches. We got versions of the old Pete and Dud sketches. You know, the Derek and Clive live, but parodies of parodies. Done and all sorts, which we'll be putting up as soon as we can. But there are cover versions of that. Oh,
I need a copy of that song.
Oh, advisory as well. You're going to want to turn your sound suppression back on, or your noise suppression back on.
Yeah, probably. Give me a second. There we go. Otherwise, you'll catch my rumbling stomach from not having dinner.
We're hearing duplicates of ourselves too.
Still are.
You've got like talk back on your mic.
I think it's better now.
Yeah,
Is it better now?
Yeah, much better now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was
yeah,
beautiful
nice
that
song.
we were all entranced by the song, like, and
Yeah, we
it
need to
just
put that
had to,
in
like, we
rotation.
couldn't say anything. It just needed to run its course, and then it's like, yeah.
I mean, it's still
I love it.
for a meme song. It's still catchy. Like, come on.
Yeah, we need to put that. on the
was in the
radio.
days it's pre-AI. You know, that's performed by real musicians.
Yeah,
That's
Christ. Like,
that
It's
is way
sad that you have to
pre-AI.
mention that these days.
Yeah, no, that's real talent by real musicians and real songwriters.
So yeah, send me a copy. I'm gonna put it on rotation for the auto DJ.
yes, please. And yes, it's sad that we have to mention that.
Throw it in there.
Yeah.
It's
Now
sad that-
Flossie's got a theme tune as well.
No, it's funny that you say it's sad that we have to mention that it's AI, considering some of our competitors use AI exclusively, and so yes, it does get a little disappointing. I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, we're already nearing 2 hours, so this is a good point, I think, to wrap things up.
One last thing I'd like to get in, side tangent, not related to ECM, but a question more so for Amarithya. Do we know when Between Waypoints 5 is coming out?
That is a difficult question, but the answer is this weekend.
Okay, I was about to say soon.
As
TM.
in the sense that no, soon TM. It's definitely this weekend. The difficult question is more. It's an emotionally difficult question.
Oh.
No, in the sense that it's as always, it's wonderful to work on, but once again, the writers give me articles and then they don't give me a single picture, and I'm like, guys, what do I do with this? This is a wall of text. I
I am so guilty of that. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Well, your submission is a story, and so with stories that is completely fine. But usually with all the other like signs and like just descriptive articles, like usually I have something to work with. But I don't know. Issue 5, just like. I don't know what happened there. It just happened with essentially every article, and I'm like, okay,
Just
50% of my time.
photo contest. It'll be fine.
Yes, absolutely. No, it's it's soon ETMs, like soon TM, absolutely.
Yeah,
EDA
paid
soon.
for,
I mixed up the two.
I
Mhm.
paid for ad space earlier, and I expected to.
Yes, absolutely.
I submitted a story for this issue, so I can't wait to see if that actually gets published.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, thank you guys for being here, for making this another great episode of the podcast. No technical issues. Well, we had one with a feedback loop just now, but
I also had one when I got kicked out of the fucking stage for a minute, but I fixed it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're gonna miss about 10 seconds on the YouTube broadcast, but you know what? If you weren't listening on the radio, then you weren't listening to a podcast. You were watching a video.
This is true.
True. Sort of. But yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you, Flossie. And of course, everyone else who was here. Another great show, and we will be back in 2 weeks, and hopefully that will be the episode about first that I have been trying to line up for quite some time, but scheduling is awful, I would say. but yeah, 2 weeks from now, Friday, as usual. But I think we might start an hour earlier, as we are all in summertime now, which makes more sense because it starts at 10 p.m. in the UK, and which is already quite late for some.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 9 p.m. is better. All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Big thank you to everyone who came to twirl with me on the YouTube broadcast as well. I appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah, and I'm expecting to see as many of you as possible at the Elite Community Meet this late summer.
I'd love to spend
Michael,
$400 to go to London.
I thought the Elite Meet was only for people that actually play Elite, Michael.
No, not at all.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
You're Elite
just
Jason.
because of that, I'm gonna fire up my emulator and play Elite on the NES for the first time.
Either that, or
which waypoint did you last log in at, Michael?
Either that, or he's going to get his firing stick and throw you out, Benny. You best keep your mouth shut. Like,
all right,
move. Let's see how this plays out.
No, he's just stuck on Linux and he can't open it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I cannot start my ship.
quit using Arch.
No.
Go use Mint. Go use SteamOS. Just use anything other than Arch.
Related. It's generally Linux, it seems, because it just.
Stop using Linux! Oh my god, are you fucking demented? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Oh God. Okay, let's stop holding the radio hostage right now on this podcast with our Linux conversation.
All right. Yeah. See you in 2 weeks, everyone. Have a good night.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in.
Goodbye. Thanks very much. Bye.
21,
Bye.
thank you. You were awesome. That was
You're welcome.
amazing. And I'm gonna look into all the stuff that you talked about. God, I want to give back to that charity now. That's an awesome charity, dude.
The special
Yeah.
effect is legendary charity. All charities are great, but I mean, just the concept of a charity that enables play for me, that's cool.
No, like I don't know where I'd be without gaming. You know, like I love this shit. So it's awesome that people that previously couldn't are now able to. I think that's amazing.
To fly. I mean, to put it in the vernacular, to fly a fucking spaceship, you know, for the first time ever. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yep. And you previously had no concept of this is something that I could even do. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's powerful stuff.
And it is. Actually, I was going to. Well, you can find it specialeffect.org.uk, but the videos on there are. Actually, I'm just going to send you a link because I wouldn't be doing my job as an ambassador. I can put it in the chat channel, can't I? On the.
Put it anywhere and I'll find it. The bistro is a pretty good spot in here, though.
Yeah.